All right, good evening, everybody. Good to have us all here this evening. Thank you all for joining us this evening. Yeah, we are trying to wait for more people to join us before, so that's why we didn't start on time. So once again, you all are welcome. So to just start this evening, I'll just use a few minutes to introduce Prodesh to our audience so that we all can understand what we do at Prodesh. Then from there, we move to the business of the day. But then before I continue, I would want us all to please share the space details on our timeline so that we can have more people join the conversation and so that we all can learn this evening. Yeah, so like I said earlier, I was going to introduce ProDevs and what we do at ProDevs. Yeah, so ProDevs is a tech company. We are based in Nigeria and we offer a number of tech related services which I would discuss in a few minutes. Like I said earlier, we are a tech company based in Nigeria and we offer a number of tech-related services. So number one on the list is recruitment and outsourcing. So what we do is that we have a pool of over 8,000 tech talents comprising of different tech professionals. And you would want to ask that what are we doing with 8,000 tech talents? Our goal is actually to connect these tech talents to founders and clients that needs their services. And the good thing is that we've been able to partner with about 50 companies. So that means that about 50 companies they trust us. So I mean that sounds beautiful though. So if you as a founder or you as a client, at least you have that reputation that we've worked with a number of companies. So for the recruitment, what we do is to present you as a founder or as a client with the best of the best tech talents in our pool. And once you're done with the interview process, the decision is just to hire them. Yeah, so let me just put it that way. But also for the outsourcing part, we find the potential candidates for you. We take care of the HR, payments, and other important stuff. Just like the way outsourcing works everywhere. And also for our software development, which is like the third service we offer. I said it earlier that we are a tech company. So we have a number of tech professionals on our team, ranging from product manager to full stack developers to UI UX developers, and they're always ready to work with your organization in case you need to build a software or anything. So that's the major services we get to offer at ProDevs. So before I continue, this is 7:10 already. Okay, so before I continue, I'd like to, introduce, just to give a brief introduction about the topic, then about our speaker before we continue. So our topic for today is importance of blockchain education to future and tech professionals. So, one of the trending and permitted to say hottest fields of tech is blockchain. And we've taken it upon ourselves as our responsibility as a company to educate our tech talent and in general our audience. So why I want to believe that most of a number of people here who know what blockchain is, we understand the potential, we understand the use cases and all. I think one thing is that it is important for us to consistently learn and relearn, so that we need to like consistently update what we know about the blockchain tech itself. And this is the tech space. I know that we all know that things just keep getting better in the tech space. So you wouldn't want to have a better yesterday when it comes to tech. So you have to, to keep yourself up to date. So that's like one of the reasons why we are bringing our speaker to talk on this topic today, the importance of blockchain education for current and future tech professionals. So we'll be looking at the importance of blockchain education to current and future tech professionals, how blockchain can be of help to you in your chosen field, how you can leverage it, how you can work with it. So these are the stuff we're talking about today. And in case you have any question also, you'll be able to ask our speaker. So I'll just briefly introduce our speaker before I hand over the microphone to him. Um, one thing about our speaker is that I was going through his LinkedIn profile and I actually found out that he switched from what's it called, from English language to blockchain. I mean, that's a beautiful one, sincerely. People, especially in tech, people just get to switch from one part to the other. Just make sure that you're doing something that that you're good at. So in banking, money and finance, our speaker, which is Mr. Nathaniel, is a significant thought leader. Nathaniel has a lengthy history of developing some of the greatest financial products. We have the likes of Paxful, Dash, Yolo Group, the Chartered Institute of Bankers in Nigeria, and several others that have had to sought after his expertise as a product guru over time. And to cap it all, Nathaniel is the author of the book Bitcoin is Cash, and is also the CEO of FlinkCap. He's the CEO and co-founder of FlinkCap. FlinkCap is a platform that allows you to build and launch your cryptocurrency exchange within few minutes with zero coding. Yeah, so I think I'll just give it up like that for our speaker, Nathaniel. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Good evening, sir. Good evening to the Prodesk team. Thank you so much for inviting me to come and speak. And thank you so much, Mr. Shalom. Your follow up is on another level. Like, there's no way I could have missed this meeting. Please, can you confirm if you can hear me clearly, please?
Yes, I can.
Okay, your follow up is on another level. So thank you so much. I'm grateful for the privilege to be here. So, do you want me to just fire on right now, or you want me to just pause or something?
Yeah, I wanted to just start right away. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. So basically, we all know what blockchain is, what Web3. There have been plenty definitions and all of that. But I want to talk on the importance of blockchain education, and I want to pick it from this angle. Africans have been consumers long enough. Web one, Web two, you don't really see. I mean, we have a couple of great fintech products out there, but when you compare Nigeria to India or to any other market, you still find out that we are still coming up way, way, way. And one of my role models, Mr. Benga Shashan, would always say that this is Africa's last chance to catch up with the rest of the world using technology. You understand? So when blockchain now, I mean, we've had blockchain, crypto, the whole Web3 vibe and hype. But I mean, I'm so surprised that Africans are still focused on the consuming part. So everywhere you turn, you see trading academy, how to make 10x, how to make 20x. I mean, I'm not saying those things are bad. I trade myself and I belong to a couple of trading communities. But it goes beyond this. When are we going to stay in the point of creating? When are we going to become like the landlord in this industry? Do you understand what I mean? So in this part of the world, in Africa, you see rich men over rich companies. So the wealth is tied to the individual. But look around the rest of the world, the wealth is tied to the companies. Bill Gates is Bill Gates first because of Microsoft, and of course other places he's invested in. Warren Buffett is Warren Buffett because of his portfolio. So their companies, their startups, their portfolios make them. But in this part of the world, we just see isolated individuals. I don't know if people just want to make it because of them. So even when people have made it in a particular industry, they're not planning to consolidate. I don't know if you guys get what I mean. Like, so let's say there's somebody who plays in crypto and has been trading and has made 10 to 20K profit. That guy just wants to remain at the level of trading on WhatsApp, maybe open a signal group, charge people $100. I mean, do crypto education. Even the crypto education, I mean, I'm currently doing my MSc in blockchain at the University of Nicosia. I'm doing the crypto and blockchain. And even with a great this scholarship I got by God's grace, I still know how much school fees I paid. Plus a big scholar. I got over 50% of scholarship and I still paid several millions of naira as school fees. And that's the same crypto education that Nigerian guys have been teaching on Telegram and WhatsApp since the beginning of Bitcoin. But we never saw how they made anything out of it. I don't know if you guys understand. More like the same thing we do as side gig is what people have standardized and built products out of it. So, for instance, there are plenty signal groups on crypto in the country, right? How many of them have? I don't know if you guys are familiar with Mesari or Crypto Hub or the Palm Beach reports. These are guys that do analysis, recommend coins for you. I mean, they do like PDF analysis. It's like all this McKinsey reports and all those stuff. Like when you read a PwC report, they can do reports on the future trends of the industry. How many have you seen from the Nigerian trading communities that you belong to? So we need to go back to the basics of proper education so that people should stop seeing and blockchain from the Ponzi point. It should be beyond you making the next box and putting meal on your table. Do you understand? Blockchain is beyond this. And that's why I love what products are doing. I'm taking us back to the beginning. You understand what really is blockchain? What really is crypto? What is this technology? And what do we as Africans stand to benefit from it? I mean, for me, I believe that while the whole blockchain thing is a luxury to the West, it's a lifeline for Africans. So how can Africans make the best use of this technology? I mean, right now I'm thinking of how can we build the next 100, 1,000 companies on blockchain that will add value to Africans? How do we build the remittance platforms? You understand? I mean, how do we solve several of our challenges with this technology? So that should be where we should be coming from. So our education should no more be how do I make money from this thing? How do I make 10x? How do I make 20x? Let's switch our education for once. Do you understand? So how do I become a landlord in this space? Let's start seeing the space like an estate, like a massive plot like a massive span of land. So how can I become a landlord? And of course, guess what? I mean, even the people who make the real money are the owners of platforms who take a commission off the transactions of people on those platforms. You understand what I mean? Because that's another level you get. So, for instance, you can be on, you can be trading on Binance. Binance, I mean, and you're making a lot of money and all that. That's good. Binance making money is on another level of power. Then the infrastructure Binance is built on, the people that host Binance that can decide to take them off at the click of a button. That's another level of power. Then, of course, the countries those data centers are located in, that is another level of power. So we have to begin to see this power game. That see this thing, there is hierarchy. The trading and the basics we've been doing are like the bottom of the table. Like it's like the bottom of the food chain. So how do we grow up? We have to go with education. With education. And the education should be tilted towards building, towards producing, not consuming. This mindset of consuming is what crippled Nigeria's oil sector, crippled a lot of sectors. While we condemned our parents' generation and say they did not do ABC, I hope we are not repeating the same thing. Because the fact that you hate maybe some things about how your parents raised you, it doesn't necessarily mean that you will do better. So a call came in. Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes,
Hello?
we can now.
Oh, I'm sorry, a call came in. So I was just trying to say that now this is the thing that people don't accept on everywhere. We have to begin to think, how can we begin to create value? And that's why I love what pro devs are doing. With the fact that they're not just focused on educating, arming developers with the necessary tools, they're also helping them with placement with companies. You understand? Because again, it's one thing to say, oh, I've learned enough. Tomorrow I want to build the next Binance. And like, yeah, you calm down first. Though. You calm down and you pass through due processes. You join queue, like they will say. And if possible, get a couple of placements. I think one of the issues befalling the Nigerian tech system is the fact that we have very inexperienced people at the helm of affairs. You understand? So I look forward to that generation of people that are going to swallow their pride and work with Binance and work with Yellow Card and work with the Lunos of this world and understand these things. You can hear the PayPal mafia. They learned something from PayPal. They took something out of PayPal into the platforms they have today. You understand? So that's why what ProDevs is doing is very, very good. Placing people with local and international companies because these are the people that will come up tomorrow to build the future unicorns. You understand? These are people that will come up to build the future unicorns. I've been talking for a while. I don't know if we can make this interactive. If there are a couple of questions or reactions, then I can come up again if you have some questions or if there's something you want me to focus on, so that we can just make this as interactive as possible.
Yeah, all right. Thank you so much, Nathaniel, for that. Yeah, let me just start this way. Just like what you said, at the moment, a number of what's it called? A number of us are just focused on the bottom part of the chain of the ecosystem, which is just trading. And to emphasize on your point also, where you're talking about the need for us as Africans, we should move from just consumption, should move to building building source on the blockchain technology. Yeah. So that those are like the highlights for me. What I would do is that I want you to continue then. I think towards the end you can take questions and contributions from people. I think that works. Thank you.
Awesome. So I'll pick it up from here. It's Africa's last chance. You understand? It's Africa's last chance. We are in a period. Okay, let me even bring this home to Nigeria. We are in a period whereby we were witnessing mass migration. So more people are leaving Nigeria between 2021 and 2030 than they have left since the history of Nigeria. You understand? I mean, we have healthcare professionals leaving, we have a whole lot of people leaving. This can only mean one thing. We have to find a way of using tech to maybe a service somebody could have delivered to 100 people. So let's say we had 10 professionals in a field that could each attend to 100 people daily. So they can cover 1,000 people daily, right? Now, five of those people have jackpot. We have only five remaining. We must find a way for these five people to be able to cover the same 1,000 people without wearing them out. Do you understand? So what that means is this gives us the opportunity for us to use technology like never before. Like it's not a choice for us. That's why I say it's not a luxury. Like you can crypto, blockchain, all these emerging technologies, AI and code, they can afford to be a luxury for the West. But for Africans, they are a lifeline because this is only way. See, we have to leapfrog Africa. There are no two ways about it. Do you understand? We have to leapfrog. We have to be thinking. Skilled hands are leaving. We have to be able to replicate skilled services. Do you understand what I mean? So this is the time to build. This decade is the time to create. Another trend you can see is you can see a lot of companies globally having issues. A couple of companies are shutting down because of the bear market and the tech funding space and everything. So this is the best time to build. The funny thing is if you build and fail, no wahala. I mean, we are just post-COVID. Bear market, nobody will criticize you. Do you understand? But this is the best time to start building. You get what I mean? So this is the best time for us to go back to arm ourselves. This time, not with education to deliver us, as in a personal person, as in Sam is here and he just wants to make it as Sam. You get what I mean? Or Messi just wants to make it as Messi. This is the time whereby we're going back to the to the drawing board with a mindset that this product we're building will be used by communities. With a mindset that these things we are going to build are going to be used by people all over the world. So there's a concept called that whatever you create, whatever you build, must be able to pass the test of universality. It must be able to pass the test of of globality. So I'm putting on a wristwatch. If you take it to China, it's a wristwatch. If you take it to Japan, it's a wristwatch. If you say you're a front end developer, if you take it to Amazon, you should be able to be a front end developer. Do you understand? If you say you are full stack, it's not the one that will carry you as a senior full stack engineer and will throw you into Binance and you become a front end intern. That that will not work. Do you understand? So whatever skills you have must play on the global stage. You understand what I mean? So again, this is where experience comes to play. It's not enough to see, you know, what Prodepts is doing is very, very good because if you've recruited people, especially in engineering nowadays, where there's remote work and everything, you feel like crying because you spend, I mean, you run ads on LinkedIn, spend a lot of money, and you're reviewing the GitHub. I mean, this thing looks cool, the CVs. Then you go into a live interview and you're like, are you whining me? Do you understand what you mean? Like, are you playing? Like, I thought I saw a GitHub, you know, and you can't really correlate. And you're like, and some people are actually good, but they've not really worked in, I don't know, they've not worked in a team. So, for instance, if there's a dev who is 8 over 10, like very good channel, 8 over 10, very good as a solo guy. He freelances on Fiverr, gets gig here and there on social media, on Twitter and co, and just make ends meet. And there's another dev who is 7 over 10, but this dev who is 7 over 10 he's a good team guy. Like he understands how to work with product owners and product managers, how to work with designers and all of that. If you were to give a gig, who would you go for? So when we talk about being good in terms like this, it's not just about you as a person. Like it's not just about me as Nathaniel being good at what I do. It's see, Elon Musk did not build Tesla. Do you understand? CZ did not build Binance. They led the teams that build those institutions. That's also another big factor, and it's one reason why I recommend. I'm usually a big advocate of people at least working with one or two companies before they start their own thing. You understand? Before they start their own thing, work with one or two places. Sorry, please just give me a second. I don't know if the host can just come in for a second. I'll join in a second, please. Like I'm still on this. I just want to mute for a second. Thank you.
All right, no problem. Nathaniel, thank you for all you've been saying since morning. So I think I'll just say a couple of things, spending the time you'd come back. So just like me has been saying, he said blockchain is a lifeline for Africa. So just like we all know, to the west and to the outside world, they probably just see it as another form of technology and just keep upgrading. But for us in Africa, understanding where we've been and what we are going through and where we are going, I think we need to keep building. Like you said, we need to understand that a lot of things need to come to place. I was reading what's it called? I was reading a stats like that about Africa recently, and I think from what I saw, we're able to understand that by 2030 or 2040, Africa will be the continent with the largest workforce in the world. So, that presents us with let's say it's a challenge for us to just keep building something on the blockchain tech. I'm actually a fan of building something on the available platform you have already. Just like he said, you don't have to just keep consuming. What he said is actually, how will I say now, it affects a number of people, a number of us. We just decided to just stay at a point where we just see, okay, this is all we can do. Especially when talking about blockchain. One of the reasons we even came up with this topic is because a lot of people just assume that once you're talking about blockchain, you're
I'm
just
ready to
talking about
continue, sir.
crypto,
Once
you're
you're
talking
ready.
about cryptocurrency. All right, you can go ahead or continue.
Okay, so actually, I've been driving since I just got home. I needed to get in. Okay, so I want to focus on this right now. I want to talk about the topic is blockchain education for current and future tech professionals. So, we've talked about where we're coming. So, I'm just going to touch two more things. Now, I think it is a very wrong analogy when people compare, like maybe the Nigerian tech community with Silicon Valley. So when people say things like it doesn't matter if a company fails, blah blah blah. After all, a company in Silicon Valley raised $200 million and they still failed. Though the first generation companies that YC funded, if they had failed, YC would have ended. The first generation companies of those ecosystems survived. So YC today will tell you that they invested in Airbnb, gave them astronomical returns. They invested in this, they invested in that, you understand? So the reason they're even able to keep investing is because the investment on previous years have yielded returns. It's like if you're from an African home and you're the senior child, and your parents are expecting you to, finish school and support for the younger ones or support one or two extended families, and you are going to do what if I fail, or you are beginning to speak all this rubbish, you're sucking English, and failure is not the end of one thing, and failure is the one thing. Listen, see, we are at a point in time in which we have to build products that work. We can't afford to gamble. Do you understand? Like we can't afford to gamble this future away. We can't afford to be doing if you fail, you fail. If you succeed, you succeed. Come, is it in this country people are even speaking that English? Somebody in California that has social security is speaking that one. You in Lagos that even bridge gone. If there's no space again for somebody to sleep on that bridge, are you the one that will be speaking that English of if we fail, we fail? Do you understand? So see, we have to understand that it's beyond us as persons. An entire ecosystem is resting on us. The future companies will be built by the people who likely work in the company you are building. So this thing goes beyond us, it goes beyond me. You understand? And this is the mind that should be in us. So if you're a current professional in the tech space or you future professional, maybe you're trying to get into the space, you're trying to get better, this should be the mindset we should be approaching the space with. Do you understand? And I'm generally I also want to talk about the scarcity of developers and professionals in the blockchain industry. I mean, I think it's time we really have people really go neck deep in this. For instance, it's one reason why I had to agree to do my master's in it. And I'm also planning that God will help me. I want to do a PhD in it, you know, because there's a scarcity of people in this part of the world. So there are plenty technical talent, and it's not really that difficult. If you're already a good, what they call Web 2 dev, like if you're already a good dev, it's not difficult to just add blockchain to it. I mean, it's not difficult at all, at all. So I think we also need to see most times what people need to do is just a bit of transition. For instance, if you've worked in a bank for a couple of years in any position, account, CS, anything, marketing, funds management, with a bit of a transition period, you should be able to work with any Web3, any blockchain company. You understand? So you don't necessarily have to start from the scratch. All you just need is a bit of a bridge, and which is again what ProDev provides you. That kind of bridge that helps you transfer your skills from what you've been doing before to the blockchain space. So many people, I feel all this blockchain, all this web, I feel all those things are just buzzwords. See, you can do these same things if you've been doing them very, very well. It's the normal React you write, you see right here. It's not another React. It's only maybe for people who want to get into smart contracts that might need to do maybe a bit more courses and all of that. But see, it's still basic foundational knowledge. That same basic knowledge of Python is still very helpful, even if you want to start creating tokens and everything. Do you understand? So all might just need might just be a bit of a bridge for a lot of people. And again, that's what Prodex does. So you don't necessarily have to start from the scratch. But one thing is sure, there is a shortage of talent. Like I don't I say I can't express this enough. Like there is a shortage. Like there seem to be a lot of people that are beginners. So if you put out a job voluntary level, man, see, you will be tired for CV reviews. But once we step a bit higher to mid level, like okay, it's just like if there are 100 people, right? We see about 80 beginners, 15 mid level, and maybe 5 senior. Like when we go up, like the climb is just too sharp, and it's something we really need to work on. You understand? Like the decline is just too sharp. We need to be able to produce senior talent. It's not only the guy that ends up being a CEO or that co-founder that raises one big amount that is a superstar. Even the guy that ends up getting a job with the Binances of this world, with the Coinbase, they are also superstars. So we need to be able to develop that mid-level to senior level pool of our talents. That thing it's a big issue. I'll give you an instance. I mean, I transitioned from studying English in school to being a PM, and it's very difficult to get somebody who can feel, even in this our tech ecosystem, who can feel a director of product or a chief product officer. But if you come down to the level of I'm looking for PM entry level, well, see, you'll be tired of the applications you get. But what happens is that people get satisfied and just so let's say I mean I entered tech because of course tech is like low hanging fruit. So let's say I start with UI UX design. I just start with product management, project management, and I start earning $500 or $1,000 a month. Is it that people just mentally resign at that point that they're already good to go and they start saying things like after how much is a banker earning? Those kind of false comparisons, and all those things. So I don't know if that's one reason why people don't really upskill to becoming the levels of seniors. We have a shortage of seniors, and no matter how good a bricklayer is, you will not give him the contract to build your house. Do you understand? See, what it takes to found a hospital is not just being good as a medical doctor. That one says day. But it takes beyond that. A couple of you guys run your own thing, and you know what I'm talking about. Like it takes a level of in which it takes a level of balance of leadership, a level of maturity, a level of sacrifice. Like it takes more. You get what I mean? To make those things work. So it's the same thing. We need to have people who go to those level of leadership that it's just beyond the I can write code. See, you guys know what it takes to write code and what it takes to be a CTO, a head of engineering. They are miles apart. Oh. For one, you need to write code. The other one, you need to motivate others to write the proper code. Do you understand what I'm pointing out here, guys? So we also need to understand that hierarchy, and we need to make up a deliberate decision that see, enough of playing small. You understand? Enough and enough of playing small. We need to climb this ladder. Who is it? Somebody that said that when any technology comes, we'll just stay at the level of consumers. We need to climb this ladder. The only thing we can do is not only the basics. We need to see more people upskilling, and we need to see more people having clear career paths. And this idea of broke shaming people who maybe choose to take jobs, sign up, work with company A for 2 years, switch to another company, and all that. This idea of I don't want to say broke shaming, but I don't know what to call this idea of shaming them. Like more like salary is the vibe they give you to forget your dream, blah blah blah. You know those kind of vibes. That idea also has to end. That has to stop. People who choose to found companies are not superior to people who choose to get a 9 to 5. By the way, companies will not be running if we don't have people doing 9 to 5. All we have will just be businesses, business names, like what we just have will just be SMEs, me, myself, and I, or me, my son, or Nathaniel and Sons Limited. Do you understand? The reason companies grow and you see, man, this company has like 10,000 employees. Now people they there. Those people too are like the pillars holding that company. Do you understand? So it's according to the time I was asked to stop at 7:40 and to take some questions. So I think I'm ready.
All right, thank you very much, Nathaniel, for that wonderful insight. So what I would do is just, talk about some of the things you said, just emphasize them. Then from there we'll go to questions. If you have any questions, please, I would love you to request to the mic so that you can ask our speaker question. So you talked about YC the other time. I know that YC is almost a launch, I think, accelerator program like that. But I think it would be good if you like probably just explain what it means to people that don't understand. Let's just start from there first.
Okay, cool. So YC is they're like accelerators and also I call them angel or pre-seed investors. So companies that get accepted to YC, they get mentored for about 3 months and they get an instant investment of I think $125,000 for an exchange of 7%. That's just the basic chart, but there's still more advanced stuff. But what YC really offers companies are the network. So any company that gets into YC on the demo, they be sure that there are thousands of other investors willing to invest on it. So the fact that YC is coming in with that, like the fact that YC itself is like a launch pad, you understand? So it's more like YC is like the winning party. So once they identify with you, be sure that your valuation, your perception, those partnerships that you've been looking for, those companies that you've been sending email and they don't reply you, it will be the one that will start sending you emails, you understand? So that's basically what YC is. And it's the world's number one accelerator. It's where many people try to get into. I believe they incubated Paystart, they incubated Airbnb, and several other companies. Yeah.
All right, thank you for that. Just have to clear the air for that. Okay, so you're talking about um Web3 skills the other time. So just want to say a couple of things about that. Just like you said, we have shortage of engineers in the blockchain field. Most people, Web3 is just an advancement to Web2, just like the way Web2 is an advancement to Web1. So what's it called now? When you have Web3, a lot of people just what they need to do is to just upgrade and upskill. Because I know fully well that if you are into Web2, you'd definitely be working with the likes of, let's say you're a front-end developer, you're a full stack developer, you're working with the likes of JavaScript and all. But then once you come to what's it called? Once you come to Web3, then you start talking about Solidity and Rust. That's even if you want to go into smart contract and all. So what this is telling us is just the fact that switching into Web3 is not a difficult task as the name would be. All you just need to do is go online, make proper research, and keep learning. So that's it. So to start with our questions, just like I said earlier, if you have any questions for our speaker, please do well to request for the mic, and I will make you a speaker. You go ahead to ask your question. So now, Nathaniel, you've encouraged us to start building, to keep building, and we should not just stay at the consumption level, especially as Africans. So now I want to put myself in a scenario that okay, I'm a trader, I've been a trader all my life. The only thing I know about blockchain in itself is what's it called? It's just for me to buy cryptocurrencies and trade. So what can you say to that? How do I build? Yeah, how do I get better? How do I upgrade? Yeah, that's my question for you. Let's start with that. Thank you.
Number one, learn a skill. Number two, get a mentor. Number three, internship. Work for free if you have to. When you become good, you will see those months you spent working for free. When you become good, what you will earn in 1 month, will you pay for all those months you never earned anything? You understand? So it's like a footballer that wants to start training with the hope of getting to a club. It will likely take years. Even when we went to school, it's like 4 years for the basic bachelor's degree you get, depending on your course, might even stay more. I Greek guys do like 5 years. Some other law, you understand, even after 6 years, is it 5 years in school, you still go for law school, you still go for, so depending on what you want to do. So also see it like that. It's not a Ponzi that as you enter like this in 30 days, you buy a new car. So always look at it with that long term perspective. Get a mentor, get internships, get good basically at what you do. You understand what I mean? Like, I don't know how to say it one more. See, the earlier you get into a company and start working, the better for you. Like, I usually advise against freelancing big time, especially at the start of your career. Because if you're a freelancer, you're your own boss. Do you understand? Like, you collect jobs, you can collect, like, you are not, see, when you work with a team, there is, see, you want to be better than at least the average of the team. You understand? You want to share minds with people and everything. And if you just started, if you have the opportunity to get an on-site job, prioritize that over a remote job, even though a remote job will likely pay more. I'm talking of people who are just starting their careers, because of course, if you are just starting your career, your goal should be how to become an expert and career, and like how to grow in your career, how to climb the career ladder. You understand? So don't start pushing money. The money will come, but you go get the experience first.
All right, thank you so much for that. The money would come, get the experience first. And you also said we should learn it to get a mentor and we should go for internship. Yeah, thank you so much for that. So I'm going to my next question. I would just like you to, if you as a person, I understand that in fact you have a book, what's it called, Bitcoin is Cash. You have a book that focus on the financial aspect of blockchain tech. So what's for people that are not looking at what's it called? That are not looking at fintech, are not looking at finance. Can you like recommend other things that you think we should build or that you think can be built on the blockchain tech? Yeah.
Okay, so the first thing is join people who are already building. So in that process, you will learn of the next things that should be built. You will see the next problems that should be solved. You understand? So if you look at the Nigerian tech ecosystem, you see that a lot of founders doing well today. I'm the way with Paystack, I'm the way with Conga. You understand? I'm the way with Flutterwave. So the way with Jumia and all those stuff. Right now, go, we're already having the OPay mafia and all those stuff. So don't just start your own thing. I prefer a lot of collaboration. There are many people building many things in this ecosystem. Why not join one or two of them? Be part of their own building. Do you understand? Most times, in the process of solving issues for other companies, that's when you get your own startup idea. You understand what I mean? So right now, I'm building something that I would not have thought of if I have not worked with Paxful or some other people. I might not have thought of building FlinkUp the way I'm currently doing it. So you build other people's own. I mean, and there's something about the Bible that says, somewhere in Matthew, when Jesus was speaking, it was like, if you don't handle other people's businesses well, who will give you your own? So again, let's just chill on this my thing. Let's help on one or two people to set up theirs, and in doing that, we have more clarity to do ours.
Thank you so much, Nathaniel, for that. Collaboration works. Join people that are building already. Yeah, thank you. You know, I didn't even think about the fact that a number of founders they've been with the companies that you mentioned before. I just started thinking about them now. It's not necessarily all of them, but then I think everyone on this call would understand your points that we should, join people that are building already. So at this point in time, I think I'll just throw it to the house again. In case you have any question, please request for the mic. If you have any contribution to our conversation this evening, yes, please request for the mic also. I think that would be good. If you have any contribution, please request for the mic. And also, I think while waiting for people to contribute or ask questions, if there's anything you'd like to say or add, Nathaniel, please you can go ahead. Thank you.
Yeah, great. I would love to take questions or contributions so that at least we can know where else to channel. So I don't just be like, oh, I'm just saying. You understand? So if we can take a couple of questions or contributions, that would be great.
All right, no problem. So, like you rightly said, we're waiting for your contributions. I've asked my questions, and I think it's good if others can, ask questions too. Okay, I can see that you're raising your hand. Um, the co-host, you have the floor. You can go ahead to ask your question. Thank you.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, we can go ahead with your question.
Okay, just wanting to ask, in your opinion, what are the like unique challenges faced by Nigerian tech professional when integrating blockchain into their works? Like, what are the unique challenges? Because I definitely know there are challenges, but I think there are some that are I think mutual to many other persons out there trying to get into the integrating of blockchain in their work. So I don't know if you can throw more light on the challenges.
Okay, awesome. So apart from the normal small challenges we have, internet, power, which Starlink and solar, those things can solve. One challenge is you might not find experts around to run ideas through them. Because even most of the few experts, these top companies have carried them or they've jackpot or something. Do you understand? I think that's one major challenge. And number two is we don't have enough of the like if you want to learn those things, there are not enough people, like I said, there are enough places you can learn as a beginner, but there are not enough places you can upskill as somebody who is not a beginner. So I gave the instance of there is no Nigerian place where they teach crypto and blockchain in an advanced way, where I can get like a degree or a proper certificate. I don't want to this pay $100 join a WhatsApp group. I mean a proper academy or a proper school. There is none. But if you look at for beginners, you would find you will find hundreds of everybody has an academy, everybody is doing a podcast. But if you take it a step higher, how many people have even published books on this topic? The numbers drop again. Do you understand what I mean? But if you look for how many people have YouTube channels, how many people do AMAs, how many people have blogs on this, you would see a lot. So you would find that challenge of organized information. So it will become a challenge. I don't know if you get what I'm trying to say. Because the more you climb higher, the more you see that there are no There are no bodies, there are no platforms, there are no programs to help you easily upskill. So you just have to, I mean, like what everybody do, you have to just go and use international ones and pay their plenty money like that. You get.
Thank you so much for that answer, Nathaniel. I hope that answered your question, Tejiri.
Yes, yes. Thank you very much.
All right. Okay, so in the absence of questions or contributions, I would just like you to round up, Nathaniel. Yeah, just round up, and from there I would continue. Thank you.
Okay, awesome. So I just want to say that the technology is still in the early days. Do you understand? It's still pretty much day one. It's still pretty much day one. It's still pretty much day one. Do you understand? So it's still day one, guys. It's still very, very early. If you were to do a degree, if you were to upskill, if you were to do something that will take you 1 or 2 years to get better, start doing it now. Because that 2 years will still come. And in 2 years' time, it will be better when you've done that. Do you understand what I mean? So, guys, let's get into this. Crypto, blockchain, and everything. This is still basically day one for all of them. You get, so it's not too late for anybody to get in. So yes, that's just what I was saying. Conclusion, and this is day one. Everybody should get in. Thank you.
Um, Sorry, can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
Okay, in your opinion, what are the key regulations and policies to be considered for tech professionals in Nigeria, like policies that they should be aware of? Because definitely I'm someone that I like to research on blockchains and the effect on how we can use it for advancement. But then again, I've not really gotten to understand the policies or restrictions towards any of this that someone should be aware of, so you don't get to cross or violate any of this.
Just your
I don't
just the
know.
normal fintech policies, nothing special. There are not really crypto blockchain policies in this part of the world. So just stick with your normal fintech policies. Number one, have your basic CC registration, have your trademark, file your annual returns, file your taxes. Then most importantly, if you are touching Naira, have the necessary licenses or work with somebody who has licenses. So if I'm integrating Flutterwave into any of my products, then I don't have any problem. Do you understand? Because Flutterwave already has the licenses. You get what I mean? So most times it's when you are touching and moving money. That's where see regulators will never attend to you if you have not succeeded. Oh. They feel like don't have any license, shall be doing what you are doing. But the moment they start seeing volumes of cash is moving through that thing, you understand what I mean? Or they start seeing some significant traction, and that's when they will come knocking. Do you understand? So, in terms of touching money, do the necessary licenses. If you are doing, for instance, international payments and remittances, do you have the necessary licenses? Or the people you are using, do they have those licenses? So, that's just my advice.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Namdi, you can go ahead with your question or your contribution. Thank you.
All right, good evening. So, I'd like to ask, so concerning your point about being a builder rather than how do you balance adoption and finding that idea that is viable at the same time?
Before you write any line of code, somebody should be willing to pay for it. So, I am usually a pro revenue person. You understand? So, I always want to advise that always validate that thing. If you don't see, somebody should be ready to pay. And when you build the slimmest version of any of your product, ensure you are collecting revenue. Go for pro revenue. By God's grace, and my startup FlameCap is currently bootstrapped and we are pro revenue. Do you understand? See, making revenue is the greatest validation to any idea. You see, you are solving a problem. For who? Is the person willing to pay for it? You can be solving a problem that I like that you are solving it, but I'm not willing to pay for it. I don't know if you understand. I don't want to use some companies as example, but you can really be solving a problem, but I'm not willing to pay for it. Do you understand it now? So the greatest way to validate is before you commit some level of resources into it. Let's see if somebody is willing to pay, even if it is $1 for this thing. So that's what I have to say. Yeah.
Yeah, Namdi, I hope.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Okay, so this is just 3 minutes to hit, so I think we've done justice to the topic. So in the absence of questions and contributions, I'll just once again like to introduce us to what we do at Codex. Again, I talked about it at the beginning of the space, but I think this is also a better time for me to talk about it. So I was saying that we are a tech company. We are based in Nigeria, and we are into software development and recruitment and outsourcing. So as a tech company that we have a number of tech professionals that can attend to your needs. So if you are a founder on this call and you need to build something, you need to build a software, you can reach out to us and we build this particular software for you. We have a number of full stack developers, product managers, anything you need that would make this thing that would bring your software to life. Yeah, that's it. And also for the recruitment and outsourcing, like I said earlier, we have about 7,000 tech talents in our talent pool, and our goal is to connect them to their dream jobs, both locally and internationally. So, like I explained, the outsourcing system works just like the way every other outsourcing system works. You find the potential candidate for you, we give you a vetted candidate, take care of the human resources, payment system, and other important stuff that has to do with your employees. And for the recruitment, we all do is present you as a founder or as a client in need of this talent. So present you with the best of the best tech talents that we've vetted. And you get to interview them and you choose the one that you feel would be your good fit for your project or for your company. So that's a brief summary of what we do at Codex. So I would just like to, thank everyone for making our time to join us this evening. Once again, I'd like to thank our speaker, Nathaniel. He's speaking from his company, the official handle, which is FlinkCap. I talked about what they do at FlinkCap the other time. At FlinkCap, we need to build a cryptocurrency exchange within, I think he said 5 minutes, yeah, within 5 minutes. And you don't need any idea of coding for you to get started. So you can check them out. So once again, I would like to thank you all for making our time to join this Twitter space this evening. Thank you, and love you on behalf of Brothers. We say a big thank you to you all. And for the Muslim faithful, I want to wish you all Eid Mubarak. So that'll be all from our hands this evening. Do what you have a wonderful night. Bye.
Thank you. God bless you.